What am I really going after? It's not the job. It's not the financial milestone. It's not the relationship. It's not the knowledge. It's freedom from care. You are what is. And we are back with another ep on the Daily Vedantic. TDV, baby! Today's reflection. The reflection that I've been chatting about with one of my teachers for like a week now is on security. The root of the word security is freedom from care. I did not know that root etymology of the word security until he told me. Freedom from care. Freedom. Instead of being tied down with care, concern, agitation, you're free from it. It's quite the irony because so much of the time we think of security as bolted down. You're tied to it. You're on solid ground. Like something you love is secure. Really tight knot, keeping it close. Never thought about it as something that you're free of. So many of our pursuits, our attempts at security, it's just tying us down to more and more things. But what we're really seeking is to be free of being tied down by those things. Tied down by concern and agitation, stress, tied down by worry. What's going to happen to this really nice thing that I just bought? What's going to happen to this job that I just got? Am I going to be able to keep it? This house that we just took out a mortgage for? I need to make more money to be more secure, so I'm going to tie myself to even more entanglements. Freedom from care. It's a beautiful reorientation with security because what we are pursuing, and everyone is pursuing this. Just did a Yoga for Your Intellect episode on this recently, and it was astonishing to think of everything that we pursue is an attempt and a pursuit towards security. Relationships so that they can help you weather storms, so you don't feel alone. Finances so that you can handle life's unexpected explosions. Buy those things that are going to give you that security and that emotion that you want to feel, and you want to make that emotion permanent. Pleasure. Even knowledge, even going through 5 of these episodes like chiclets. I know when I would watch 2 lectures a day from the ashram, somehow it got to Swami, and he told me, he said, James, watch just 1 a day. Don't short circuit. I was like, what did he mean by that? I knew that he caught me kind of going through 2 and just trying to race to get through the end of the 3-year course. And which link in the show description, by the way, for the 3-year course that you can, now it's online. It's just so crazy. You can watch these lectures from the comfort of your couch, whenever, wherever around the globe. But I was watching 2 a day and yeah, somehow he heard, probably Joseph, you son of a bitch. I know you told him, but he probably told him, or somehow got to him through that divulgence from Joseph. And that was really mind blowing for him. 1, to make the point to tell me to dial it back to 1, but then also to say you'll short circuit. It'll backfire. Because the reason I was doing it's not what we do, it's what do we do it for. The reason I was trying to go through them quickly is so attached to, well, if the more knowledge I have, the more secure I'll be in this knowledge. Man, all of this just seems true. I want more truth. And it was a pursuit of security of the worldly kind, like any other pursuit that I've ever taken on. It's an attachment. And it comes down to, it's not what we do, it's what we do it for. And you could be doing the exact same thing without this selfish pursuit of security. But maybe it's a selfless pursuit of understanding or articulation so that you can convey it to the people around you that want to know it. And you find yourself watching 2 lectures a day. It's probably not a great way to do it, regardless, because as Swami will say, and this is almost just like canon for Vedanta, if you can understand one line of the scriptures, then something like the Gita. If you can understand one line of Christ's wisdom of the kingdom of God is within you, or be in the world but not of it. If you can understand one line, then you're instantly realized, as they say in Vedanta. So it's not about consuming, chewing through. It's about truly internalizing and understanding. It is not about information, it's about wisdom. And all of this comes back to understanding something like pursuing security. What am I really going after? It's not the job, it's not the financial milestone, it's not the relationship, it's not the knowledge. It's freedom from care. Freedom from care. Here's the kicker. This world has no security in it. It was the reflection that Joseph was kind of hitting on in a recent episodes, because we actually talked about it for a few. Just that's what this philosophy and nearly every major philosophy, religion, theology has been saying for thousands of years is there is no security in this world. Sure, you can get a bag filled with 10 ounces, 10 pounds of security in it, but there are holes in that bag. Whatever financial milestone you get, then you worry about your health. Whatever health you get, your landlord says you got to move. Whatever relationship you have, well, who knows if it's meant to be, meant to last, and well, hell, we know it's not meant to last. Every marriage has ended in death of one spouse, then death of the other. That's not philosophy. That's just logic. It's not morbid. It's just reality. A reality that we are so quick to delude ourselves from, thinking, no. When I get that spouse, that soulmate, I'll be secure. Here's the third point on this security point. Not only what is security? It's freedom from care. It's not tying yourself down to a piece of real estate. There is no security in this world that we live in. That's not what this is. This is all constant change. The one thing this thing does not have, this world, this life, is a constancy within it. The third aspect of security that when we really look at it, rid ourselves from these delusions, and we all have them. I pursue security in nearly every direction. Much of it without really knowing what security was. Now, knowing what it is, just that definition, freedom from care, it's so interesting how reorienting that can be from what I thought security was. But then to know where it is and where it isn't. It is not in this world. Because security isn't a thing. It is even a relationship with a thing. It is an inner state. It's not a state of having. It is a state of being. It's not external. It's not out there. It's in here. And to access it, it's not through anything out there, entering here in some form or fashion, unlocking something inside because it's outside of us. It's through hooking onto the higher ideals, the highest ideal, that you are what is. You are isness itself. You don't start there. You don't start piano lessons with Chopin. There is a progression, a trajectory, but that is the ultimate ideal, that even that ideal is in this world. But hooking on higher and higher and higher, hooking onto these higher ideals, like climbing a ladder, takes you to that final boss, that final realization, that final reflection. If you are that which you are seeking. And as we're told, like the pole vaulter, you use these higher ideals, you use the pole to eventually cross the bar, but you don't take the pole with you. Security is found in this wisdom. Like crossing the bar is achieved through the use of the pole, but you don't cross the bar with the pole. You also can't cross the bar without the pole. Such a great example that Swamiji gives. Can't cross the bar with the pole. You can't cross the bar without the pole. But ultimately, even these ideals, this philosophy, this knowledge, it is of this material world, this terrestrial world, this relative plane. Working backwards from there to round out this reflection on security, we also need our relative securities. That's our level. The next reflection I'm going to talk about, this idea of knowing our level, but we've got to know in more detail, but we've got to know our level and realize, okay, yeah, shelter is, I can't live life of the Buddha walking around for 60 years at my current stage. I do need shelter, or I do need relationships. I do need food. I do need comfort, pleasure. I've got to take the mind for a walk. I've got to feed that lower side of me that needs these things, because that's my level. Those securities, those misguided attempts at security, that might be the level where, if you have those, if you can check those boxes, shelter, clothing, relationships, if you can check those boxes, then they can be absolutely conducive to pacifying the mind so that the intellect can jump in the driver's seat. You have a quiet, comfortable place, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. to study, reflect on higher ideals. That's quite conducive towards latching on, hooking on to the higher. So don't skip these steps. Don't skip our levels. Don't jump to Chopin on your first piano lesson. Know where we are. We should. It's worth an entire episode on, because it's so critical to know where we are, but also recognize what security is, where it isn't, and how to get it. And that's today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.